The British Empire in 1930 was a global leviathan. It possessed the greatest navy on Earth, mechanized armies, and absolute control over the Indian subcontinent. Against this armored superpower stood an elderly, frail man wrapped in homespun cotton, carrying nothing but a bamboo walking stick. To the British viceroys in New Delhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was a nuisance. They believed that revolutions required guns, funding, and armies. They did not understand that true power lies in the moral absolute. Gandhi knew he could not defeat the British with military force. Instead, he decided to defeat them with an idea so simple and so deeply relatable that it would unite the fractured Indian masses overnight. He targeted salt. Under the draconian British Salt Act of 1882, it was a criminal offense for an Indian to collect, make, or sell salt. The British held an absolute monopoly, heavily taxing a basic mineral that the poorest laborers needed to survive in the blistering Indian heat. As the eminent historian Ramachandra Guha details in his definitive biography, Gandhi, The Years That Changed the World, the Indian political elite were initially baffled by Gandhi's strategy. They wanted to protest high-level constitutional laws. But Gandhi was a grand master of mass psychology. He knew that abstract political theory wouldn't unite a village farmer and a city lawyer, but salt would. Gandhi realized that by criminalizing a basic element of nature, the British had exposed the ultimate absurdity and cruelty of their rule. On March 12, 1930, Gandhi stepped out of his Sabarmati ashram to begin a 240-mile trek to the Arabian Sea. He started with just 78 followers. The British press mocked him. The colonial governors ignored him. But as Gandhi walked, the nation woke up. By the time he reached the coastal village of Dandi 24 days later, the original 78 followers had swelled into a massive, unstoppable human river of tens of thousands. Hindus, Muslims, the rich, the poor, men and women. He had united the entire subcontinent behind a single, peaceful act of defiance. On the morning of April 6th, Gandhi walked into the ocean, bathed, and then reached down into the mud. He picked up a small lump of natural sea salt. With that single, quiet gesture, he broke the law of the British Empire. The immediate aftermath proved Gandhi's genius, turning the oppressor's strength against itself. When peaceful protests spread to the Dharasana salt works a few weeks later, the British responded with savage violence. The events were not lost to myth. They were documented live by the American journalist Webb reporting for the United Press. Miller's eyewitness accounts published in newspapers across the globe described rows of peaceful, unarmed Indians marching forward, only to be systematically beaten down by colonial police wielding steel-tipped lathis. Miller recorded that not a single marcher raised an arm to defend themselves. They simply took the blows and fell, while the next row bravely stepped forward. Webb Miller's reporting completely shattered the moral standing of the British Empire on the world stage. Britain could no longer claim it was civilizing India. It was violently oppressing a peaceful people over a handful of salt. Gandhi had forced the empire to reveal its true face, and in doing so, he broke its psychological hold over the Indian people. Gandhi's methodology of non-violent resistance, Satyagraha, proved that a single man could paralyze an imperial machine. He was not just a political leader, he was an army of one. This is not just poetic framing, it is an official historical fact. 17 years later, during the tragic, blood-soaked partition of India in 1947, heavily armed British and Indian militaries failed to stop the communal slaughter in the north. But in the volatile province of Bengal, peace held. Why? Because Gandhi was there, fasting and refusing to leave until the violence stopped. In the official British archives, the final Viceroy of India, Lord Mountbatten, sent a telegram recognizing the sheer, terrifying power of this single, frail hero. Mountbatten wrote, "In the Punjab, we have 50,000 soldiers and large-scale riots. In Bengal, our forces consist of one man, and there is no rioting. As a serving officer, may I be allowed to pay my tribute to the one-man boundary force. Mahatma Gandhi did not fire a single bullet, yet he brought the greatest empire in human history to its knees. He proved that when armed with absolute truth, a one-man army is more than enough to change the world.